Healing Remedies. So I'm just going to basically talk about myself to kind of give you some information of what's kind of going on. My name is Emily, and I grew up in Massachusetts, born and raised here. And I was diagnosed with MS December of 2017. So I am going on 3 years this year. And I just kind of want to I kind of want to reach out to the MS community and also anybody else who's suffering from any sort of chronic autoimmune disease. And just kind of letting you know that there's other options. I'm going to talk about, I got diagnosed in 2017, and now no MS symptom really brought my attention to getting a diagnosis. I had been suffering from migraines for my whole life. I've been working I was a full-time worker and also a part-time student, so that was super stressful. And my migraines were really getting out of control. And I had a history of migraines. I'd had them for about 20 years, for basically my whole life. And they had gotten, my neurologist was really concerned because they had gotten so bad that they were really starting to affect my quality of life. So he ordered an MRI of my brain, which I knew was going to be terrifying because I got like I said, I had really, really bad migraines for my whole life. And I knew that what was going to show was going to be scary. I knew that there was going to be a lot of scarring, and I didn't expect for them to tell me that it's MS. That's definitely not something I thought was going to even be thought of, but here we are, and that's kind of what happened. So, I went and saw a MS specialist doctor, and she did all the nose, had me do all the neurological testings. She had me walking, trying to check my balance. My balance was really off. I had some bladder issues at the beginning. I think it's because I wasn't sure if it was MS, and I was really stressed out trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So I had been exercising regularly for a long time, but as soon as that happened, I didn't really exercise as much because I was kind of stressed out. I'm like, well, what is going on? Is this MS? Could it be something else? Is this real? Is this really happening to me? I couldn't believe it because I'd always been so healthy. Would never anticipate me to end up having anything like this happen to me. So I did have a little bit of bladder issues at the beginning. And then I also had some heaviness of my leg. And that was pretty early on, probably January, February. And then I changed my diet and my lifestyle. And I had always already eaten pretty healthy, and I've always been active. I had been going to a boxing gym regularly for 5 years, and then I started to do CrossFit. So I'd always been super active. I've always been active, which is probably why I never had any symptoms of MS, because I don't really know how long I've had it. Nobody really knows how long that they've had it. So I just feel like I've always had such a healthy lifestyle, whereas I even brought my food with me to work every day. I work in the health field. I've been a medical assistant for 11 years, and I'm currently a nursing student. So love the healthcare. It's great. And another thing, I love medications also. I don't want you to think that just because you're on medications, you're doing anything wrong, because you're absolutely not doing anything wrong. Just the route that I went down was just different. It was different. And I was terrified because I was terrified of getting a diagnosis of MS. And I was even more terrified by going down the road that I was going down because nobody else was going down that road. And the neurologists were getting so frustrated with me. I saw one neurologist, and then I got 2 more opinions, and they all came up with the same conclusion: you have MS. I'm like, oh man. Okay, well, that's kind of what I figured as soon as the first one told me. And that's actually my neurologist today, was the first one who diagnosed me. And she's awesome. I really, really like her, and she's perfectly content with me doing everything that I'm doing. And she's not she's not on my case about doing MRIs every few months. She's not on my case about getting on medications for the disease. So she's great. And that's super important, is making sure that you find a neurologist that you feel that you can communicate with, and somebody who's on board with what you want to do, because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. And to the other neurologists that I had seen, they just looked at me like I was crazy. And they're like, what the heck? Like, we've never had anybody like even talk about not getting on medications, never mind just following some crazy protocol. Like, this is just so atypical. This is not our normal patient. But as soon as I had the thought that I may have MS, I jumped right into it and started doing all the research that I possibly could. I wanted to know what I needed to do to be able to have the best quality of life. I was 27 years old, and I'm like, I'm not ready to let my life fall apart. I was still taking my classes to get into a nursing program at the time. And I was just like, I'm not going to let this define me. And I want to continue just living my life as best and as normally as I possibly can. So that brings me to why I think I got diagnosed. And it's so interesting whenever you ask any doctor, like, why did this happen? What is up with these autoimmune diseases? Like, how did I get this? Nobody has any idea, ever. They don't ever talk about it, and they're just like, oh, it's not genetic. Clearly, no one in my family has MS. So yeah, I definitely think I gave this to myself, if I'm being totally honest, from constant oxidative stress. I've always put so much pressure on myself to always be the best worker, be the most reliable, going above and beyond for everybody, kind of always putting myself last. I've just always been that way in all my friendships and all my relationships, and with my jobs. I've always just made everything else so much more important than taking care of myself. And I've always dealt with stress in a really poor manner. I never really knew how to handle stress. All I know is that I could feel it, like in my brain. I could feel crazy things happening up there, because I'm like, this amount of stress is not normal for somebody to go through, and for them to go through so often. Like, I was stressed almost every single day. Like, so stupid. I'm thinking about it now that I have this different lifestyle. Like, I was just always stressed. But I think that all that stress that I've been carrying with me every single year, every day of my life, that's exactly what led me to getting MS. So I don't want to get too off topic here, but so I want to talk a little bit about medications, because I do believe in medications 100%. I think that they're there for emergencies, and I think that they're there for when we're really, really sick and we need them. Like, if we have pneumonia or if we have strep throat, yes, we need medicine for that. If we cut ourselves and, it's starting to get really red and inflamed, okay, that's potential sign of an infection. So yes, I think you need antibiotics. I think medication is definitely there for when we need them, 100%. I'm so grateful, and I'm so glad that they are there for when we need them. But for something that's chronic, like MS, something that's chronic, like hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, all of those things are reversible. They're reversible with diet. And, for me, in all this research that I had done on MS and treatment for MS, every single conclusion I got was that the medication that people were put on for this disease was kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. So it was kind of just not really doing anything for you, really. And the way that I wanted to treat this disease was I wanted to treat it from the root. I wanted to figure out why this was happening to me. Why is my immune system attacking itself? Why is this happening? And I wasn't okay, and I was not accepting of just take medication for this. That wasn't the right route. And I will never believe that that's the right route for any chronic disease. I don't think that is the right route. I think that medication is there for, like I said, urgent things, or if you're really, really sick and or you have an infection. I believe those medications are there for that. For something chronic that you're going to have for the rest of your life, I do not think medication is there for that reason. Yeah. So I could just ramble on about this forever, so let me stop myself. And let me just talk about the 5 major components that I use for my treatment. So I treat my disease with diet. I treat it with exercise. I treat it with stress reduction techniques, strict sleep schedule, and reducing toxic exposures. So I will go into depth about every single one of those and what I do and the importance of it. Now, you can't just do one of these 5 things in order for you to feel good. It's kind of like you got to do it all. You have to do it all if you want to see any results. So from when I first got diagnosed, it probably took me 9 months of being on the diet and figuring out the whole lifestyle thing for me to feel really, really good. I felt really, really good. I felt like better than I had felt prior to my diagnosis. I felt really good. But like I said, it's not like a medication. It's not like an easy fix. You just take a pill and you feel better the next day. It is dedication. It's patience. It's loving yourself enough to care for yourself, and to take care of yourself. No one is going to be able to do this for you but you. MS is so scary. It is so scary. I'm still scared of the disease, even though I don't have any symptoms of the disease, but it's still so scary because I see other people. I go to MS meetings and I talk to other people that have the disease, and it scares me. It scares me every single day, It scares me because although I don't have symptoms and I don't think about it on a daily basis, I still have a disease. And it's something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. So yeah, it does still make me nervous and it makes me a little bit scared. But what changed my life was this. The Terry Wahls protocol. And she actually just came up with a brand new book that has 30% more new information, which I'm super excited about. That book has totally changed my life. It really, really made me pay attention to my body. It made me pay attention to things that I need and things that I don't need in my body. And it's just, I don't know what I would do without that book. That book has saved my life. And one of these days, I swear, I will meet you, Terry Wahls, because I just want to hug you and kiss you because you're like my angel. You've saved me. You've saved me from something that, I don't even know where I would be health-wise or in my disease I don't know where I would be without that book. I don't know where I would be at all if I did not have that book. So I can't speak highly enough about that book because that book has changed my entire life. I didn't see a physician to put me on this diet. Terry Wahls is a doctor, so I've just been following her protocol, and her protocol is what's kept me so healthy. And I know with MS, there's a million different diets that you can do. There's so many different ones that you can try. So sometimes certain diets may not work for you, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. That doesn't mean that diet is not your answer. Diet is always going to be your answer. It's just finding the right one that suits you. So next week, when I have my next video, I am going to be talking about the importance of different ingredients. So I will be bringing you with me when I go to the grocery store so I can talk about the importance of certain ingredients and what you need, what you don't need in your life. That could make a big difference. So I hope that you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for looking at my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.